stockpile al-Hajj there. Now, joining me to speak further is Tehran University professor Mohammad Marandi. He joins us now live from Tehran. Thanks so much for speaking to us. Can you tell us if Iran will actually breach the limits of the nuclear deal in the coming days, as per its enriched uranium stockpiles? And if so, is Iran prepared for consequences?
Iran is willing to do that, and the reason is because that the Iranians are the only side in the nuclear deal that are abiding by its commitments. The United States has been violating the agreement, and now it has left the agreement, and the European Union is in complete violation. They are obeying Trump. So the Russians and the Chinese, of course, are trying to implement the deal, but they are also being harassed by the Americans, but they are asserting their sovereignty. The Europeans, on the other hand, are simply doing what Trump tells them to do, even though they say positive words about the agreement, but they're doing nothing. So the Iranians are saying that the Europeans cannot have their cake and eat it too. Iran has been committing itself. It has been in it has implemented it in full until now, and after 13 months since the Americans have left the agreement, the Iranians feel that they have to, within the framework of the agreement, decrease their commitments in order to put pressure on the Europeans to start moving.
But I mean, what does Tehran really expect Europe to be able to do? Leaders there begged Trump not to pull out of the deal. They've tried workarounds for sanctions, but the United States is simply just too powerful in this respect. And now Iran is delivering ultimatums to European signatories. Wouldn't it be better maybe if Iran respects the agreement for the sake of maintaining its good relationships, at least with its European allies?
No, the Iranians have already done that. First of all, if the Europeans are so pathetically weak, then they shouldn't be sitting at negotiating tables. They should sit at home and tell the world that Trump speaks on their behalf. So they can't have the prestige of sitting at negotiating tables, signing international agreements, and then saying there's nothing we can do about implementation.
But to be fair, I mean, come on, they're dealing with the world's economic superpower here. How much can they sacrifice in Iran's interest?
Well, it's in their interest. First of all, their economy is larger than that of the United States collectively. Their population is larger than that of the United States. And if they don't want to implement the deal, if they don't want to abide by their commitments, then, as I said, they should no longer be a part of any negotiations. But Iran is not going to give up its sovereignty and allow the United States to carry out economic warfare. I mean, Trump himself calls it economic warfare. He is targeting Iranian women and children. So the Americans are violating Iranian airspace. Trump is repeatedly threatening Iran with a Holocaust. He is basically threatening Iran with nuclear strikes when he says he'll obliterate the country. He said that repeatedly. Have the Europeans even once condemned him? Has the European Parliament said anything? Has any political leader in Europe said anything? So Europe's position is not friendly. The Europeans are basically a part of this Eurocentric empire, and they expect Iran to forfeit its sovereignty, for Iran to allow its women and children to suffer. The Americans and the Europeans are preventing Iran from importing medicine. This is how they're behaving in this framework. So this is the least that the Iranian government can do. In fact, I think the Iranian government is being very, they're trying to help the Europeans by not exiting the agreement and only decreasing their commitments to put pressure on the Europeans. And the Iranians have told the Europeans, if you abide by the agreement, we will go immediately back to where we were and commit ourselves completely to the deal.
Okay, Professor Mohammad Marandi, thank you so much, as always, for joining us there from Tehran with your perspective.